confess that they have missed Mass on Sunday, a particular Sunday, or maybe a string of Sundays. And I always take the opportunity to ask people why. Why did you miss Mass? And at times people will admit that they're just lazy. They decided to hang around the house all day, not to come. And I think that is, of course, a moral issue. Simply disregarding the Lord's Day, the day of worship for Christians, is not acceptable. But oftentimes people will say, well, we were traveling, we were on the road, and we could have found a place, we just didn't, have the time to do it. Or people say, I wasn't feeling well, or someone in the family was not doing well. Those situations are very different, of course. There may be times when we legitimately cannot attend Sunday Mass because of a good excuse, right? In my view, these are acceptable excuses. Some of them are for missing Sunday Mass, and they don't carry the weight of being a mortal sin, as we were taught. I suspect that the Lord also has an understanding of these kinds of things. After all, he says it very clearly in another gospel. The Sabbath was made for man, not man for the Sabbath. In other words, the Sabbath is meant to be of service to us, to give us the opportunity to come together and worship God and to take our rest. And in today's gospel, he says the Son of Man is Lord of the Sabbath, meaning that Jesus has the authority to set aside Sabbath rules for his disciples, as was the case in today's story. Like the Sabbath laws of biblical times, we live with many different religious laws and requirements as Catholics. Those are given to us to help us guide the manner of life, to really live the Christian life to the fullest. As we all know, without laws, we're left to our own devices, and a lawless person can easily learn to take advantage of others. You become selfish, uncaring. So God, in his wisdom, and the church, in her wisdom, establishes laws and guidelines to govern the people in the practice of their faith. But those laws are not given to oppress us, or to make us feel guilty, or to punish us because we're bad people. No, we need to know how religious laws apply in our daily lives, which laws are absolute and which are not absolute, which laws carry great weight in terms of consequences, and which laws carry less weight. So we can go on and on about this, but the bottom line, I think, is this. If we love God and we love our neighbor, we will value the laws that govern us. We will not be constrained by that. We won't be living in fear of them. With love of God, we can interpret the law to see how it affects our daily life. With love of neighbor, we can better understand which laws are essential to preserving and protecting the dignity and the honor of our neighbor. St. Augustine, in the early centuries, said it very simply. He said, love and do what you will. Love and do what you will. That may sound a bit simplistic, but the point is this. If we truly understand the commandment to love God and love our neighbor, the other laws don't become so necessary. By our love, we are free to live life to the fullest and to trust that our love will guide us